Cheers! This is Ben Hart. I'm sitting out here on our porch where I'm usually sitting at this point in the evening listening to the crickets, listening to the birds. So I hope you can hear me over them. The crickets are pretty loud tonight. Now, I wasn't going to comment on Michelle Obama's lavish vacation in Spain that's costing taxpayers $375,000. As a general rule, I really have no problem whatsoever with people spending all the money they want to on their vacation. No problem with that if it's their own money. But this is taxpayer money. I also have no problem with taxpayers picking up the tab for the first family to go on vacation. But I also think that some restraint is probably called for at a time when America is going through the worst recession since the presidency of Jimmy Carter. Plus, this really isn't the first family going on vacation. This is Michelle going on vacation alone or with her daughter and some friends. Her husband's not there. Barack is hanging out with his buddies in Chicago for some reason. This entire event is really very odd. And she went on this vacation during her husband's birthday. Something's just not right here. How many jobs might have been saved or created, to use Obama's terminology, with this $375,000 in taxpayer money that she spent on that 5-day vacation? Would it not have been a nice gesture for Michelle Obama to have taken her vacation in the Gulf of Mexico region? Instead of spending $375,000 in Spain, why not help the struggling economy in the Gulf region, here in the United States, where the tourism industry has been devastated by the Gulf oil spill and the bad economy? Michelle Obama and her entourage occupied more than 70 rooms in this palatial Spanish hotel. The rooms cost between $500 and $2,500 a night each. Now, on one level, Michelle Obama's solo vacation without Barack during his birthday is a trivial issue. What's $375,000 compared to the $1.4 trillion deficits that Obama and this Congress are racking up every year? What's a $375,000 5-day vacation in Spain compared to the $14 trillion national debt? $14 trillion. Think about that. That's larger than the entire U.S. economy. But the more I watch the Obamas, the more I have come to this conclusion. That this vacation by Michelle Obama was Michelle giving the middle finger to America. This vacation was Michelle's way of saying F you to America. Why do I think that? Well, for all kinds of reasons. Do you remember back in 2008 what Michelle Obama said after her husband won the Iowa caucuses, which paved the way for him winning the Democratic nomination over Hillary? You remember what she said then? Michelle said, "For the first time in my adult life, I am proud of my country." End quote. Really? That's the first time in your life that you've been proud to be an American because your husband won the Iowa caucus? That comment should have been a big clue, should have been a big tip-off for Americans as to what Barack and Michelle Obama really think of America. Barack Obama's lifelong associations with one America-hating radical after another should have been a further clue. His pastor of 20 years, Jeremiah Wright, delivered one sermon after another about how much he hates America. And Barack sat there for 20 years listening to Pastor Wright. You remember, GD America, and America deserved the 9/11 attack. That was the chickens coming home to roost. That was how he described the 9/11 attack. And Obama sat there for 20 years listening to Pastor Wright preaching his Hate America sermons. How could anyone sit there for 20 years and listen to that? But he did more than listen to that. He called Pastor Wright one of the most influential figures in his life. He even took the title of his book, Barack did, Audacity of Hope, from one of Pastor Wright's sermons. Pastor Wright was very important in the life of Barack Obama. Barack Obama's political career was launched out of the living room of William Ayers, the unrepentant America-hating terrorist, the founder of the Weather Underground, who bombed the Pentagon and a police headquarters in New York City. He said just a few years ago in an interview with the New York Times, as William Ayers, that his only regret was that the bombs were not more effective, that they didn't actually kill people. Obama was a trainer for the corrupt anti-America voter fraud group Acorn. Obama writes in his book that his mentor growing up was the self-described communist Frank Marshall Davis. He was a member of the Communist Party USA. Now, to be a member of the Communist Party USA, an actual member, you had to be pretty hardcore. This is a small group. These are really hardcore radicals, and Obama called this guy one of the most influential people in shaping his political views. Obama, during his short period in the U.S. Senate, was the most left-wing member of the U.S. Senate. He had the farthest left voting record of anybody, farther to the left than Ted Kennedy, farther to the left than Barbara Boxer and other wackos in the Senate, and there are plenty of them. But Obama was the most left in his voting record. That should have been a clue. And now, look at how Obama has acted as president. Now that he's president, he's just doubling down on all that. He's going as far as he possibly can. Barack Obama has not done one thing to help this country as president. It's just been one crisis after another. He's added trillions of dollars to the national debt. The $14 trillion total national debt is now larger than the entire U.S. economy. This is a debt that we can't pay off for generations. Now, does anybody really believe that piling up all this massive debt is the way to prosperity? If you're in financial trouble, is the way out of financial trouble ever to pile up more debt onto your credit cards? Nobody believes that. But that's exactly what Barack Obama is doing to you. He's taking your credit cards and he's going on a wild spending spree. The only way his economic policies can be explained, because they're totally irrational, and he's not a stupid person, is that his economic policies are an intentional assault on America. They are an intentional assault on the capitalist system. He's trying to destroy capitalism. That's what he's done his entire professional life. Try to destroy capitalism. That's what his entire career has been about. His career with Acorn, his career as a community organizer, his associations with William Ayers and so forth, and other radicals. He's been all about destroying the capitalist system, and that's what he's doing now as president. And the way he's doing it is just to overwhelm the system. He's piling up all this debt, adding back-breaking tax after back-breaking tax onto business and on the American people, piling up the regulations, piling up the bureaucracy, so that eventually he'll just strangle and collapse our capitalist system under the weight of all this government. And then he will claim that, gee, capitalism just doesn't work. Well, Barack, capitalism seems to have worked pretty well for the last 240 years in America until you came along. What did Barack teach as a lecturer at the University of Chicago Law School? He taught Saul Alinsky's Rules for Radicals. Saul Alinsky was another America-hating Marxist psychopath that was influential in shaping Barack Obama's political views. His book, Rules for Radicals, was the handbook for the anti-American radicals of the 1960s, like William Ayers, the unrepentant terrorist who wanted to bring down the capitalist system. And it's been the handbook for Barack Obama. You really need to read that book, Rules for Radicals, by Saul Alinsky, to understand what Obama is all about. For Barack Obama, the assault on America is relentless on every front. His entire career has been about inflicting some kind of retribution on America for supposed past wrongs. Have you ever heard Barack Obama mention anything that he likes about America? Anything that he likes about our Constitution, about our system of government, about the free enterprise system? Have you ever heard Obama praise the free enterprise system? Every speech that Obama makes is just a long list of grievances, just a long list of America's shortcomings. Every speech he makes is a list of what's wrong with America. He never makes a speech about what's right about America. There is nothing in his political career that indicates that he has anything but ill will toward America. Michelle Obama's absurdly extravagant vacation in Spain, while the rest of America suffers under the disaster of Obamonomics, is just another small way the Obamas are showing the middle finger to America. Her vacation in Spain was Michelle Obama urinating on the American people.